I remember that when I was around 14 years old, I just struggled with motivation. All I would do was just wake up, go to school, at school not even pay attention to the class, come back home and lay down because I was too tired. Think about how weird that is, a fighting age young man who doesn't have enough energy to do anything and just has to lay in bed. If I actually lived like 1,000 years ago, I would be kicked out of the group because I'm useless and I'm just eating their food. Be honest, if you were the leader of our group and you had younger me in it, would you have kept me there and let me eat your food? There might be some guys here who are trying to be wholesome and say, "Oh no, I would definitely help," but that's just a lie. Nobody would help a loser like that. And fair enough, I was kind of young, so maybe you would have waited a few years to kick me out. But my point is this: laziness wasn't allowed back in the day. It's only now that we are letting weak and lazy people live among us. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't live, of course not. But if we were to look at the lives of these useless men in the tribes, they would often be depressed and just have shit mental health, because they inherently know that they will be banished from the tribe soon. And when you are being a lazy loser, you will start feeling like that too. You will be scared and depressed. That's why I think it's unacceptable to be lazy. Many guys, especially in the self-improvement space, are convinced that motivation is useless and that discipline is the most important thing. And yes, having discipline is super important, and if you do things only when you are motivated to do them, you will never have the things you want in life. But on the other hand, motivation is actually really beneficial. Because when you are motivated for your work or to go to the gym, you will be much more productive and will make much more gains than if you went there just because of discipline. And again, this isn't to say that you should wait to be motivated to go to the gym. You should definitely go there even if you don't feel like it. But if you can give yourself the motivation to go to the gym, your workouts will feel much better. And in this video, I will tell you how to do that. But before I actually start telling you how to do it, you first need to understand a hormone called dopamine, because it is very involved with motivation. I am no scientist, by the way, so this is just how I understand dopamine. I think that by telling you how I understand it, you will learn it much better than if I were to just read you the definition of it. Anyway, I'll stop yapping and just start explaining. Many people think that dopamine is released upon pleasure, like when you fap that you get dopamine at the point of climax, but that's not the truth. The point of climax doesn't actually give you that much dopamine. What gives you more dopamine is the pursuit of this climax. So dopamine isn't released upon pleasure, it's released during the pursuit of pleasure. And when you reach this point of pleasure, you're dopamine, so that means your motivation goes down, but it doesn't go down to the base like it was before. No, it goes down even further below it. So perhaps the reason you don't feel motivated is because you do these pleasurable things. Because you keep playing video games, because you scroll on TikTok for hours, because you still fap and watch porn. Pleasure leads to loss of motivation. But this actually works the other way around as well. If you do things you don't feel like doing, or even better, the things that you hate to do, that you aren't motivated for. If you fight that feeling of not wanting to do it, and do it anyway, your dopamine shoots up after it for the next 2 hours or even more. And then you start feeling alive. You can actually do stuff. Now the things you weren't motivated for finally feel easy, and you can progress towards your goals. It's really beautiful to feel like that. It makes you feel like a man. You just have to fight the feeling of not wanting to do it. That's what men are supposed to do. We are supposed to experience discomfort. That's how we grow. In this modern day, men are conditioned to be feminine. We are conditioned to think that discomfort is bad, and that you shouldn't do things that you don't feel like doing. But you have already tried that and it doesn't work. You ended up having no motivation to do anything throughout the day. So now you have to start doing the opposite of that. Experience discomfort. Fuck pleasure. Pleasure has never served you when you were chasing it, so now you have to start seeking discomfort instead. But you may wonder, what are these things that release dopamine? Well, it's the things that you hate to do. It's doing the things that hurt. Like, for example, taking a cold shower or going into a really hot sauna. These are things that are hard and they hurt, and that's good. The more it hurts, the more motivated you are after. You should choose the things that hurt more and that you hate more. If you are more resistant to the heat and you hate the cold, then it would be better for you to take cold showers because you will release more dopamine. On the other hand, if you are more resistant to the cold, then you will release more dopamine in the sauna. It's usually that white people are more resistant to the cold, and all of the brown, black, and Asian guys are more heat resistant, probably because of genetics. So just choose the thing you hate more, discipline yourself to do it every day, and soon you will feel more motivated throughout the day. And lastly, I have a challenge for you. If you aren't a bitch, you will take a cold shower today. You don't have to post proof or anything, just prove it to yourself. Prove to yourself that you aren't a little bitch, and you can take some discomfort. Alright, that's it for today. Make sure to like, subscribe. We have almost 700 subscribers, so it would be appreciated. Also share and whatever else the YouTubers say these days. And after you do that, go take a cold shower and bye.